Yo, bro. Let's talk Shenmue. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, friendos of all ages, welcome to WTF, or Where's the Fun, where I, David West, take you through the design of a video game that I've recently played and give you a very subjective analysis on where's the fun. And tonight's game is Shenmue, a Sega classic from back in the day. A lot of history behind this game. Strong suggest looking at this game up. Shenmue, there are 3 of them. Shenmue's 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the long-awaited one that's taken about 12 years to get made, but it is coming out later this year. Fingers crossed, maybe early next year if everything, if the things go how things go. But this is a game from Sega that was on the Dreamcast era. Famously expensive game and very big cult classic. So in this game, the one I'm actually playing, if you've been following my Twitter at all, we have Shenmue's 1 and 2. You can get them both on disc on PS4. I think you can get it on Xbox One, and I'm not sure, maybe on PC as well. So I've been playing Shenmue 1 on PS4, and I'm loving this game. I haven't played it in a while, and I'm just reliving this game that's just kind of... It's a very interesting and unique experience for sure. You play this gentleman, Ryo Hazuki. So Ryo had the unfortunate problem of his father being murdered in front of him. So... Oh, PC and Steam. Okay, very cool. Thanks. Thank you, Napra Moon. Much appreciated. So you play as Ryo Hazuki. He had the unfortunate mishap of having his father get murdered in front of him, and that really slowed him down, made him grumpy, which is fair. And now he wants revenge against Lan Di, the man who did it. And it's placed in late 80s Japan, and it's a very interesting game because although you do just kind of these common things to solve this murder. So you do stuff like go to Japanese convenience stores, you buy chocolate, you win contests, you go to arcades and play Super Hang-On or Space Harrier. You meet people in the streets and you just chat with them. It's really a reminiscent of, I want to say, point-and-click style adventure games and stuff like that. But it's such a unique game. And you meet these kind of weird characters. We got Tom over here on the left, Tom the hot dog vendor, who's always grooving, man. He's trying to sell you a hot dog by dancing. And then you got this dude, which I just met in the game. He's a creepy guy, one of the bad guys, because there is a whole fighting mechanic in this, and you are a martial artist. Your dad was a sensei, and you're a martial artist, and it has the Virtua Fighter engine, mostly in terms of battle system. But it's really, if I had to summarize what this game is, it's kind of like The Sims meets what do I want to say, Virtua Fighter, where the two of them are kind of combined, and they're combined through this murder mystery narrative that you're trying to do these kind of regular, mundane, everyday tasks to solve your father's murder, which I find absolutely fascinating. The feelings I get during this game. So, first of all, I get it's relatable. It is not a fantastic setting. It's Japan. Japan is in fantastical. So, it's relatable because it's pretty normal. It's in the 80s, So I'm a 90s kid technically, but I was born in the 80s. So a lot of this stuff I remember, and it's just kind of this unique slice of culture that I find interesting. But it's very normal. Going to buy stuff, buying light bulbs, and just these little things. I find it very charming. It's the low poly, ridiculous voice acting kind of setup. I find that very charming. But I also feel that it's a very old game. It is definitely clunky at best. So it's one thing to keep in mind. So the good about this game, though, is it takes place in a contemporary setting. I don't think there's enough games in the contemporary settings. I really like that about this one. It's in 80s contemporary settings. That's really up my alley. I really love that kind of feeling and look and feeling. So that's pretty awesome. We also have the activities. And I want to say the activities because it's the way you spend your money. That's why there's the little dollar sign there. There's stuff all over this area in Japan that actually lets you, spend your money, you're burning time away. It's part of the game design. It's kind of a weird thing. I'll talk about them less good. But it is a really cool thing. There's a lot of these little activities. Pool, there's all these little things. And back in the day, this was really unique and interesting at that point. And last but not least, that ties into the world. I think the world is super interesting. There are 5 or 6 maps to wander around and explore your hometown and your home, and there's so few areas to explore, but there's so many buildings. It's an urban setting, right? There's lots of buildings, lots of people, and they keep reusing these same spaces over and over again. They're very large, but they're the same sort of thing, and I find it very interesting. They keep on adding content. This world kind of evolves as the timeline progresses with new markers, new events, and new things to explore in the sense of part of the storyline, right? So it's pretty cool stuff. The less good though is I would say the controls are clunky at best. Let's see, Napper Moon says to explore in real life too. Absolutely, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Yeah. The less good though, I would say, are the controls. These are the old school tank controls, and they are like old school Resident Evil tank controls. They don't feel that good. I have a hard time wandering around with these things, and they're frustrating at best sometimes. So that's one of the big challenges there. And then the second half is the monotony. There is a lot of hurry up and wait. Like, one of the cool things, like I said, very relatable. You have to get down to the harbor, so you go get a bus. The bus isn't there yet. Comes at 12:15 and 12:40. So you can go burn some time. You can go to the arcade. There's an arcade nearby. There's stuff to do. You can go talk to people. But there isn't enough stuff to do in convenient spaces, and there's a very monotonous aspect of you have to just wait for the right time or wait for a store to open, and that's part of the game design, and I get that, but it is a bit monotonous at times. So what are my takeaways to bring into my game, to bring into Vagabond? So number one, realistic games should be a little less realistic, and I mean that in the most positives. I love Shenmue. I seriously love this game. But man, like, there's certain parts where I'm like, it just gets a little too real. It's a video game. We need a little bit of polish, a little bit of making it less real, making it a bit easier on you to make it less frustrating or less monotonous, right? So there's a little balance there, and I think the PS4 version or the re-release here has fast travel from your house. So they did add a couple of little things here and there, but that's pretty interesting. Puzzles and content need variety. Absolutely, they need variety. So I would say there is enough sort of puzzles in the game, but it is these weird kind of, again, simple tasks. I just did the part where you go into the basement and you have to, light candles or find a flashlight or buy a flashlight or get a light bulb. And there's all these little things. And I love that part of it, but I can see that all of these puzzles are essentially fancy inventory puzzles combined with a real life twist to it. Like it's just real life regular objects that need to solve your puzzles. But you need that variety and content. Same with like the arcade and stuff. So I'm wondering if Shenmue 2 fixes it. I don't think I ever beat Shenmue 2. I don't think I did. I have it on the old Dreamcast. I have a European version of it, and I have the new version, which I'm going to play. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see a lot of random screenshots of that. But yeah. And last but not least, I took away low poly retro is charming. There's something really charming about Shenmue's graphical style. I just love it. And I love the cheesy voice acting and the tacky writing. I just love that stuff. But man, it is low poly retro, and I just think that's an area for me to explore graphically for my game as well. I really started looking at some asset bundles and stuff just to kind of see if I could get a feeling for it, but I got to start as simple as I can. I'm going to go with 2D most likely, but I find it very charming, and it is something I'm definitely going to explore a little bit further. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the latest episode of WTF. If you like this sort of thing, we do this live every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time on Mixer.com/DavidWest and Twitch.tv/DavidWest. We also carry the live streaming fun over on Tuesday nights where we do coding and development. And as usual, if you could do me a favor, please have yourselves a lovely day and or evening.